This is a continuation of the story of Arīb al-Mamuniyah, the Nightingale of Baghdad, Part 2, Rivalries of Silk and Blood. After Caliph al-Mamun's death, the palace became a battlefield of silken intrigue. Factions rose and fell like desert storms, each one trying to control the ear of the new caliph. Arīb, though no longer a slave, found herself caught in these invisible wars. Her fame a double-edged sword. To some, she was a symbol of refined culture. To others, a dangerous relic of the old reign. Yet she refused to retreat into silence. Her songs, once romantic and playful, grew sharper, layered with veiled truths about power and decay. Her greatest rival emerged not from politics but art, a singer named Fadl al-Kane, whose talent rivaled her own. Fadl was younger, ambitious, and hungry for the caliph's favor. Their rivalry became the heartbeat of Baghdad's artistic elite. Competitions were held in lavish salons where poets judged and nobles wagered fortunes on which woman's song would draw tears. Sometimes Arīb triumphed, other nights Fadl. Yet the deeper battle was not for applause. It was for legacy, for the right to define what beauty meant in an empire of conquest. Caliph al-Mu'tasim, heir to al-Mamun, was a man of war, not poetry. He admired strength and saw in Arīb's defiant grace a power that unsettled him. Yet even he could not ignore her voice. During a banquet celebrating a military victory, he demanded a contest between Arīb and Fadl, the greatest singers of his empire. Arīb, aware of the risk, stepped forward and sang not a love song, but a dirge, a lament for soldiers dying in forgotten deserts, and for mothers whose prayers never reach heaven. The hall fell silent. The caliph turned away, unable to speak. That song made her immortal, but also dangerous. The caliph, though moved, ordered that she never sing such verses again. Rumors spread that he feared her influence, that her words could spark rebellion in the hearts of men. Yet Arīb continued in secret gatherings, performing for poets, philosophers, and dissidents. In hidden gardens lit by moonlight, her melodies became a quiet resistance, music against tyranny. Her fame spread beyond Baghdad. Travelers carried her songs to Egypt, Syria, and Persia, reciting her verses in marketplaces and caravanserais. In faraway cities, people spoke of the woman who sang truth to kings. Merchants memorized her love poems to woo their lovers. Scholars debated her metaphors as if decoding scripture. Even the desert tribes, far from the caliph's reach, repeated her name like an incantation. Arīb, the voice of the free. Yet glory was never without grief. Those who once adored her began to vanish. Friends executed, patrons exiled, lovers gone. Her music grew mournful, filled with images of lost gardens and broken pacts. In one of her most famous poems, she wrote, "I was born of chains and crowned with sound, but freedom sings in no one's tongue." The poem was banned by decree, but its words survived, whispered by servants and scribes. As her influence grew, she found an unexpected protector, a nobleman named Ahmad ibn al-Tib al-Saraksi, a philosopher who admired her courage. He saw in Arīb not just a singer, but a thinker shaping the empire's moral pulse. Together, they formed an unspoken alliance. Art and intellect bound against oppression. Their meetings, though discreet, drew suspicion. Some accused her of seducing him for power. Others whispered she was his muse in more than poetry. The truth remains lost, hidden in her verses. When Ahmad ibn al-Tib fell out of favor with the caliph, accused of heresy, he was executed. Arīb was forced to perform at the memorial feast, a cruel order meant to break her. Instead, she sang one of her oldest love songs, filling the hall with nostalgia so deep that even her enemies wept. It was the night she became legend, not for rebellion, but for dignity. Her music transcended fear. It became mourning itself. Age and sorrow finally began to dim her fire. She withdrew from public life, teaching music to young women and composing quietly in her home near the Tigris. Baghdad had changed, torn by revolts, corruption, and fading faith. But those who visited her said her voice remained pure, untouched by time. When asked why she never fled the city, she replied, "Because every stone of Baghdad remembers my song." In her final days, Arīb composed a last poem, one that scholars later found written in her own hand. When the night forgets to sing, my voice will be its dream. She died in 890 CE, her burial modest, her resting place lost to time, yet her legend endured. Her melodies were copied by generations of musicians. Her poetry entered royal collections. Even centuries later, Sufi mystics quoted her verses as if they were divine revelations. The slave girl had become eternal. Her history continues. Arīb al-Mu'miniyah, the Nightingale of Baghdad, Part 3, The Legacy of the Lost Voice. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share to those also interested in hidden and forgotten histories.